What's going on, guys? This is Bossrosslp. I forgot to go get water. God damn it. I told myself that was what I was going to do before I started this recording session. I look over, there's that empty water bottle. Fuck. It almost hit my second monitor. Hey, maybe it would have shattered it worse than like my fucking Glasslips DVD. Or should I say Blu-ray? I got that shit on Blu-ray. It's not even a DVD, it's on Blu-ray. Fucking awful. Can I tighten this microphone? Now this is the way to start an episode, right? Tightening your microphone and complaining about your lack of water. In the last session of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, specifically the third game, Trials and Tribulations, which means it's not Ace Attorney, we basically went through all of Trial 3's investigation phase. We met Violetta, who I sincerely hope is not the actual murderer, who she tried to prevent the actual murder, and she won't get too long of a sentence. We also met the douchebag El Tigre himself, straight from the Cartoon Network television show, El Tigre. We did not meet Tito Dick McMahon Baby. That was from the third session, although I can make it, or not third session, the second court case. There he is. And there was Dan Elk. We talked about him a little bit. We talked about Violetta's father being a thing in the mafia of the black market, essentially. Gumshoe was a little bit of a badass, also a bit of a softie. He made 2 freaking lunches. We have the other one. That better be the end of case requirement. We better have to give that to her, and she'd be like, but why does Gumshoe like me? Be like, because he made you a second fucking lunch, you ungrateful whore. Alright, I don't know. Something like that. So, see you guys for that next time. Seriously, I said so much shit, I felt like I was ending the episode. Let's just begin. Good morning, Mr. Wright. You have your audio up too loud. Looks like your disc is dirty. Alright, just fucking stop, Ross. Good morning, Maggie. I ought to just restart this whole game at this point. Everything's been terrible up to this point. So what do you think's gonna happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well, and then ended on a giant mystery. That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Oh, wait a minute. You know, I just realized that yesterday's session. So that means that after we got back from the court case, we didn't go play cards. Maya was talking about playing cards the night before they actually went into trial. Okay. So that makes more sense. Huh? Yeah, of course. I saw that. The little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger. Don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Hey, pal. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Oh. You look like you lost your case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this'll help. Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me you don't remember this thing. Huh. I don't think of it. That doesn't look like one of the aromatherapy bottles. That's a small bottle that turned up at Tribulations kitchen a couple of days ago. Wow, look at all those little bottles. Oh right, we did turn this in the Gumshoe. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. It's got so many, they're overflowing on the floor. Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? It doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. Finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So, what is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's, medication. There we go. Finally that turned up, so that's going to be his ear medicine. Medication? Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. For ears? You mean... Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Egg was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Oak's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Alright. Refiled into the court record. Solid. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but... So that's gonna weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal. This is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today. Got it? You know, I wonder if that word impregnable comes from the fact that something is, like, literally not able to become pregnant. I don't know. That's what I always assumed. Like, sort of as, like, I don't know what that would be. English major for the win. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done. Or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. Or his name isn't Phoenix Wright. I don't know who it is. Who am I again? Also, get the mouse cursor off the screen. Damn it, you're not Tim. Sorry, Tim. Nothing wrong with you. But you have the mouse cursor on the screen. No, I'm just kidding. He really doesn't. Court is now in station for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. That was painless. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo, if you want to call it that. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Gatto, for Captain Obvious reprimandums. Furthermore, according to the witnesses, is reprimandums even a word? Fuck, I have to look that up. Ah, fuck it. The victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet, the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? Where the hell have you been, Maya? Like, 90% of our cases have had that. Like a single piece of testimony can have. Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Gatto. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. I want to lose this thing like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you resolve these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles? Oh, you know the answers to these riddles. The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it. Fair enough. So we have to sort of prove that his testimony was good? Because Gatto's going to try and prove that it was bad. I'm assuming, anyway. Alright, witness. Oh, dear. And you are?
Oh, bonjour, everyone. I am Jean Longstrom, the owner and the chef of La Tribulations restaurant. Enchanté.
Oh dear, that ass. Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman? Judge, this is not 2005 anymore.
Oh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am the perfect perky gentleman, non?
Boy, am I glad this doesn't take place in America, because this would be incredibly racist. Actually, nationalist. I don't even know what this would be. On the other day of the incident, you were in Trabian's kitchen. Isn't that right?
With you, monsieur. Everything feels right.
Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Actually, you're wrong, Phoenix. Something did intimidate him in the last trial, didn't it? No, the old man throwing seeds, I think, intimidated him a little bit. I can't remember. Very well. Your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day, Trabian.
Oui, volunteers.
Alright, what do we got here?
When it all happened, there were two customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art decor that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Perhaps that is what that old man was looking at. A cup, the earpiece, and the glasses. He would have seen everything reversed, no?
Mirror!
A grand mirror, like most enormous mirror.
I already see problems with that one. And suddenly the mystery disappears. Like I said, the wheel keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear in back to front. Don't ask Ross for mirror puzzles, those are his, worst enemy. What the hell? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. You know, I've noticed there hasn't been too much swearing in this game. It's not that there's a ton in these games, but there's usually more by this point. Anyway, let's start the saving immediately. We go over with the A button and then press down. We good. We in there. I really should just use save states instead. I don't think you guys mind if I use save states instead of save points, because it just saves time. That's all it really does. Hence the name save point. Save state. Alright, 2 customers. What is it? Up that presses? No, us goes to present. You better be careful about that button, Ross. It's left that goes to press. Okay. And who were the 2 customers exactly?
Mice, of course, the young man who died. And the other not so young man.
You were referring to yesterday's witness, I presume. What about the other man Maggie said she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. We need some harder evidence first before we can bring him up, don't you? Guess we'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. Alright, fair enough. I actually understand more what we're trying to do here, so I think I have a good chance at making sure this trial goes through without a hitch. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's going to be some difficulties, but hopefully it'll be better than Trial 2's last trial, because that was miserable. I think. I can't remember. Been a little bit. Let's see what he was experimenting with. You were experimenting with Art Deco. How come I never heard about that before today?
You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur?
Please stay on topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before?
But I did, just a few moments ago.
Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned. Are you referring to some sort of decoture? No, Art Deco is a style of design. Your Honor. He's talking about interior design, walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing. We just don't say decoration for some fucking reason. It's like why we say anime instead of animation. We just like being picky. Ah, yes, of course. That deco. I thought you were talking about the Spittoon 52-gallon deco.
I was trying to achieve a look of la more effeminate. That was bad. I apologize. Look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of la decor. Like having a large mirror between tables, for example.
How big of a mirror are we talking about here?
Both. Something about 4 meters wide and, about 2 meters high.
Let's see, if 1 meter's about 1 yard. Holy glass in a frame, that's huge!
I was intending to install on a large ceiling eventually.
Ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember.
My small, but I decided not to go through with it in the end.
What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? What the hell, why not? If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies.
But...
You didn't ask, tried. You've only yourself to blame for such sloppy work. Getting wrecked. What? A mirror was delivered to Tribulations the day before the incident. Oh, really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. While you were busy dicking around and actually getting evidence, I was looking at the tax returns. Silly Wright. Nothing ships like Amazon. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Tribune, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. If you want doubt to someone, try it. Look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you would be dubious enough. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror. Perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. Alright. Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object. Normally, how does normality come into this? That's lame, Trite, even for you. Huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? You've literally gone through about, 5 cases in the past that use very abnormal shit. The parrot comes to mind. Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer in the top? Oh, where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer over there and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here. Well tried. Not the hair. I do not have a top knot. Mr. Gato is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument, especially when you call wind to the fourth wall.
Bien, logic as one day.
Actually, that's a lack of logic that won today. Also, I kicked a piece of aluminum foil down here. It's pissing the shit out of me. Where on earth is this piece of aluminum foil at? There you are. Son of a bitch. Ugh. Oh, now I've ruined the blanket that I'm using as a cushion for my ass. My ass has been hurting a lot because of this fucking executive chair. It's comfortable, but it's also, like, not forever it's comfortable. Like, after a while, it starts to feel less comfortable. Anyway, the fuck boss are you talking about?
La cup, la earpiece and la glasses.
Wait a minute. La glasses? Okay, the glasses would have been on the correct side. Alright, let's look at these things for a second. Everything would have been in reverse. Yes, they would have been, because the cup would have been reversed. Well, actually, the cup that was in question wouldn't have technically been reflected the way he's thinking of. Because his hands would have been reflected. I don't know. Let's just press. Why not? Let's give this a try. Everything? He would have seen everything in reverse?
Oui.
Hey, Nick, we should take a second and think about what old CD said in his testimony. Oh, they are making me do reverse puzzles. Fuck! How did he phrase it again? Well, now I was wearing an East piece on the same size the green lens of their specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. Then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. If he saw everything he described reflected in the mirror, then everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right. Huh. And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it? Huh. It's kind of hard to believe everything's the fault of the mirror, but... Do you think Old CD saw everything through a reflection? If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony. But that just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's got to be something in that old man's testimony. We've just got to dig deeper. Alright, so what they said there was a little bit weird. So that means everything would have been on the right side, but I think we've already proven that the cuff was on the left side? Okay. So the stain would have been on the right side, so that explains. If you saw it through the mirror... Okay, wait a minute. Think about this for a second. Okay. So everything would have been on the right side. Therefore, his eyepiece would have been on the right side. The coffee cup would have been on the... Okay, so we saw everything on the left, but everything was on the right, is what we're trying to prove. The coffee cup, the glasses, and what's the third thing? Earpiece. Well, simply put, the earpiece would have to be on a different side from the headphones, because he couldn't have had it in his left ear. Okay. Yeah. See, he wore the thing over his left eye, and his left eardrum was ruptured. So therefore, the problem with this testimony here is that he's saying that everything would have appeared on the right side of his body. Which is fine. The eardrum is sensical. However, okay, so that's what we need to prove here. So therefore, if everything was off, fuck. This is why I hate this, because I have to think so in depth about this, and it's just like not the way I want to think about it. Okay. I kind of want to get a piece of fucking paper for this one. Okay, let's think about this one. I'm gonna take out the notes and write this. Okay. So, in real, which means that the glasses are on his left side of his face, earpiece is on the right, and cup is on the right. That's where it looks like he sipped it. Mirror shows that his glasses would have been on the right. Earpiece would have been on the left, which is wrong. And the cup would have been on the left. So the contradiction is either that the mirror, or yeah, it's the glasses, because the glasses are what changes. Sorry, that's not right at all. I'm sorry. What I meant to say was, the change is either, fuck, how did I want to word this? Okay, so left and right, left, right, left. This is where it gets like different, because these two are right, and so the glasses are the problem. We don't have the glasses as evidence, so really the only thing to present is his face in that case. I guess. Let me hear this one again, just to make sure. I'm sorry, guys, but this is where like, fucking mirror puzzles screw the shit out of me. Okay. How do you freeze it again? Okay. Please hold my hand for this one. If he saw everything described reflected in the mirror, then everything he saw on the left was actually on the right. Okay. Okay, so it's one of these three things. I'm bound to get it right if I guess, but I really need this. I want to get this on the first try. This is one I want to get, because I understand what I'm supposed to be doing here. It's kind of hard to believe everything in the fall of the mirror, but do you think Old CD saw everything through a reflection? Everything would have been in reverse. So that means that everything was on the left side of his face, in theory. Which means if you saw everything on the right through the mirror, then the earpiece would be in the correct position, the cup would be in the correct position, but the eyepiece wouldn't. I'm gonna say it's the eyepiece. Got it! Okay. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kuda's testimony for a second, shall we? Thank God. Dude, I feel smart for that one. You know, that was like a Legend of Zelda puzzle. That's one where I can feel smart for it. I overthought it a little bit, but I got it right in the first try. Also, he has a Y button on his shirt. The boy was wearing the same earpiece and the same size as the green lens of his specs. No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. So, to summarize, we were told both the HDMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kuda saw that as a reflection in the mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side.
Exactamente. You see, monsieur, now that you look at it, it's not so hard, none.
Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. Monumental. If Mr. Kuda really did see everything in a mirror, Why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Order, order. Mr. Wright is correct. I got that 5 minutes ago. Hell, I was almost about to call it out. If the witness genuinely observed the victim's reflection in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's earpiece to have been on his right eye, or eyepiece. Cup number 3, boys. How bitter. That's right. You should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Oh, please, no. Are we talking about your coffee, or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks. You remember this, I presume. The I broke the vase, sorry, apology, Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony. Exactly. The old man had one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elk? Clearly it's the victim's earpiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD had a big impression on the old man. Oh. I saw an earpiece in those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear, do you hear? His left ear. Ha. Well, try it. Oh, that's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever. Wow, I really thought he was old Steedy for a minute there. Gatto's good. You know, every time Gatto does a voice like that, I really should just automatically do the voice acting, because apparently he's really fucking good at voice acting.